Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got a question on urgency and how to develop urgency and drive. So this question is from Tarif, and he says, hey John, could you happen to make a video specifically on the topic of urgency? You put it all in caps, so it must be urgent, and how to develop it. I feel like when you have the urgency and the drive, everything and all other variables of success fall into place. By the way, I'm Taif. I think you said Taif. Yes, Taif, thank you. So here's the deal, Taif. I'm not sure that urgency is what you want necessarily. Well, okay, so there's a sense of urgency in your life. So I've got a couple of ways that we can look at this and a couple of things that we can do here. So the first one we can do is this. Run a calculation, okay? And figure out what your average life expectancy should be, right? So, I mean, I could do this with a calculator. Maybe, we'll see. I'm gonna try and do this on the spot. So, if I said, okay, if I said I'm gonna live, let's say for the next 50 years, that's a pretty reasonable, okay, 50 years. I don't know, we'll figure that out, but 50 years, okay? And in that 50 years, there are 52 weeks. So I've got 2,600 weeks to live. That's not a huge amount, right? That's really not that many. So you could start a countdown, and every week you can watch that countdown go down, or you could think of it that way, okay? And you know, you could look at the days, right? You could say, okay, well, you know, I'm 50 years and times 365 days approximately. 18,250 days, that's it. Only 18,250 times will you wake up in the morning and get a day. That could build some urgency in you, right? I've heard of people actually having different colored balls that they have and putting them in a jar and basically pulling them out and showing how much time they have, or having like almost an hourglass of the sands of time, showing how much time that they have. And this is like realistically true, right? You're probably not going to live much past 80 or 90 years old. If even, right? Most of us aren't, let's be realistic there. So whatever you're gonna do in your life, you gotta fucking do it now, man. You gotta like, you can't waste any time. Now, that's the general sense of urgency. And this is a good way to look at life in general, is that, hey, you could die tomorrow, right? And I would say though that what you want to do is have the perspective of, if I died tomorrow, I would feel complete. I would feel like I have accomplished what I needed to in life. And when I say accomplished what I needed to in life, I mean in an internal sense of becoming what you need to become, right? It doesn't mean that you've hit the goal. It doesn't mean that you've reached the end, because you're never going to hit the goal. You're never going to reach the end. But it means that you sleep, you put your head on the pillow and you say, if I don't wake up tomorrow, man, I've been living my life to the fullest. I've been aiming, I've been on the path and driving hard, and I'm using the best of my time, because that time is wasting away, right? That time is disappearing. Those pebbles are falling out of the bottom of that jar, and you've only got so many days. You've only got so many, about 18,000 days or so left, or 20,000 days, depending on where you are, right? So that's one sense of urgency. But in general, I would say though, and I'll give you one more tip here. In general, you don't want to have a sense of urgency all the time in life, right? In your general, right? What I mean by that is that, like, urgency in the bigger sphere is great. Like, I gotta get going, I gotta do stuff with my life, I have to make the most of every day. That kind of urgency, good. The urgency of, I gotta get shit done, I'm in a hurry all the time, that's no good. I think I did a video on being busy, or being in a hurry and being in a rush, or moving quickly, the difference between moving quickly and being in a rush. You don't want to be in a rush all the time, right? Oftentimes I fall into this trap, right? And it's no good. It's no good to feel like you've always got to get stuff done and you've always got to move to the next thing, and this is taking too much time. And sometimes you guys will see this when I'm recording videos. In fact, there's a little bit of this going on underneath the surface right now of me, but you can tell when I'm in a rush, when I'm like, man, I got a bunch of stuff I need to get done today. I got to get these videos done, and it's a little bit of a different feeling, because you can feel like I'm rushing. I'm not comfortable. I'm not quite there as much because I'm just getting this done. And you don't want to walk through life, again, just getting the stuff done because you got to get it done, right? Oh no, hurry up, let me get this done. Let me get my emails done, right? You forget to enjoy life and forget to live life, right? And so I have to remind myself this all the time because even though I get a lot of shit done, right? I don't have a problem with urgency, and I'm not sitting on the couch like wasting my time. I can't even do that anymore. I need to go a little bit more the other. Remember, I talked about being dynamic quite a bit. You can check out my introversion, extroversion, the long 40-minute video for more information on that. But my point here is that like, you've got to develop the right sense of urgency. And it's the urgency that says that in the bigger scheme of things, like I need to be moving and making forward progress with my life, but not the immediate. Immediate urgency is a bad thing. Priority is good, right? Feeling that you need to do something is good, but you need to balance that. You need to move quickly, but not be in a hurry. If you're in a hurry all the time, you will miss your life. And either one of those things is going to be bad and destroy you. Now that I've given you all of this sort of way out there advice, I'm going to give you a very practical tip for creating the urgency and drive, immediate urgency and drive, which is to use a calendar and to put deadlines on it. And if you have a deadline, if you put it on your calendar, if you say that this needs to be done at this time, and you commit to shipping, and you make and you trust yourself when you make promises to yourself, then you're going to have that urgency. Then you're going to get stuff done. You're not going to necessarily need to be motivated, but you feel like you must do things, right? And that's a lot of my life is that way, and that it sort of helps me to run a lot of things on autopilot, right? So I'm not going to miss videos. It's just not going to happen because it's not an option. It's not like I would say, oh, I'm not going to do videos for a week. No, I am going to do that, right? Just like a lot of you show up for work, right? And you don't, if you work a regular job, if you go into the office, you don't like decide maybe you're not going to do that today. Like you do it, right? You just do it. And so you want to get a lot of your life like that. And that's the urgency that is good, right? Is to say like, look, I got to hit the gym today. I got to run. It's not an option. These things are not optional. And have dates on the calendar. Have commitments. Keep commitments to yourself. The better that you get at making promises to yourself and keeping those promises, the better you'll be at having that sense of urgency, the good sense of urgency, where you got to keep on moving forward. And remember, life is short, right? I mean, you're not going to, this is not a dress rehearsal, folks. You're not going to get a second chance, as far as I know. Like, you got to live your life as if this is it, man. Like, I don't know what happens afterwards, and it doesn't really matter, because you've still got to live your life like this is it. And it doesn't mean make stupid choices. It doesn't mean YOLO, man. That's not what I'm saying at all, and you know it. What I'm saying is that, like, make the most of every single moment. I'll give you one last example, and then I'll wrap this up. I was going for a run the other day, and I just wasn't feeling it, man. I just was not feeling it. Some days, have these off days, and I just was like, I just want to get through this. I want to, right? And I told myself in my head, I said, look, I forgot what day it was. I was like, maybe it was like, let's say it's June 22nd. Today is the only time on June 22nd, 2017, that you will get to run. Like, this moment will pass and be gone, and this is it. This is your time here, right? That you get to do this run, and this moment, this hour, it's never coming back. You're never getting it again. So why would you now be dreading this? Why would you not be making the most of this? Why would you not have the mindset and getting as much enjoyment out of this as possible? Why would you do that, right? And those hours add up. Those minutes, those hours, those add up. The wasted time, the regret. Life is too damn short. Like, you don't have enough time for you to just lollygag and to decide I'll do something later. Like, fucking do it now. Fucking make some progress. Go forward. Let's if you're gonna get flayed out and get smacked on the ground, then let's go fucking do it. Let's go face our fates. Let's go do it. Right? That's what that's what I think, at least. All right, man. Thank you for the question. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below. If you don't, then I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Take care.